continue to explore this theme in our collaboration with knowledge partner Nitte University for a very special discussion that's titled Tomorrow's Talent with Today's Trailblazers. So before we begin, a quick note about our partner. Nitte University is among India's leading institutions. It's offering over 160 different academic programs across Mangaluru, Nitte and Bangalore. And its mission is to nurture young minds through innovation, through research, and through holistic education that truly makes them a cornerstone of progress in the region. So we do encourage you in the audience to visit Nitte's booth outside by the registration area to explore their diverse courses, their research initiatives, and the dynamic learning environment that they offer. So now, coming to the session. This discussion is going to bring together industry leaders and promising young students to explore how emerging talent can work hand in hand with experienced visionaries, really, to build the India of tomorrow. So this conversation is about mentorship, it's about collaboration and aligning academic excellence with real-world opportunity. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to join me in welcoming our esteemed panelists for this session. We have Ajmal Venopoya, Managing Director, Unity Care and Health Services Private Limited. If I could kindly please have Ajmal on stage. Gurudatta Shenoy, Managing Partner, Mukund MGM Realty. Keep the applause coming, ladies and gentlemen. M. Atmika Amin, Director of JV Group of Companies. Thank you. Our industry visionaries are here. And now, to add a vibrant dimension to this discussion, we're very delighted to have with us students from Nitte University. So we have Ms. Dhriti Shetty, Mr. Shashank Shyamsundar Kamath, and Mr. Rohan Pinto. Can we have our students on stage, please? So clearly, an exciting conversation awaits us that is unfiltered and unscripted, and a meeting, 6 minds, 2 generations. With that, the students, I let you take it away. The floor is yours.
Good evening to everyone present here. It's a privilege to be a part of this dialogue where tomorrow's talent meet today's trailblazer. We are here to explore about leadership, innovation, and purpose, how redefining industries and inspiring the next generation. I, Dhriti Shetty, with my co-moderators Shashank Kamath and Rohan Pinto, are here together. We'll be taking you through conversation that bridges the gap between vision and action. Starting with, we have Mr. Ajmal Venopoya, the force behind Unity Care's growing legacy in Mangalore's healthcare sector. Our very first question is to you, sir.
Glad to have you here, sir. My question to you is about Mangalore's healthcare has been increasingly competitive with the entry of new players. How does Unity Healthcare manage to stay relevant? And what is your strategy for being relevant to the local and international crowd?
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me here. Unity is one of the oldest hospitals in the south of India. We started in 1978. So, to the present situation, which is 47 years, we've seen almost more than 10,000 beds coming in as a competition, both private and medical. But our core focus has been patient health care and nursing care, which cannot be replaced with all the equipments and the technology. So we've added nursing school to add to our man-force to that. And I think over a period we decided that patient care first, then technology. And so the same happens when you have international patients too. So, and we also had no full-time doctors for a while because Mangalore has a unique concept of visiting doctors. So we added a few full-time doctors to the specialties to add to the care. I think that's the way we've been here for the last 47 years.
Lovely. I think Sir's insights about, insight in the healthcare space, about innovation and how he has kept empathy first is truly amazing. And speaking of blending legacy with new ideas, that brings us to our next guest, Miss Atmika Amin, who leads a legacy business with a fresh perspective.
Greetings, ma'am. Well, as a young leader in legacy business, how did you find the balance between pursuing tradition and pursuing innovation? Like, what were the moments of resistance and what did they teach you?
Good evening, everyone. So, coming from a legacy business, right, where there have been generations that have worked towards bringing that goodwill. So there's, when you're talking about traditions, it's also about reliability. It's also about the trust that has been there with your brand for decades. So, and also at the same time, you cannot just sustain with tradition. You have to evolve with time. So, what I understand is that there are people who have worked with us for more than 40 plus years. We also have the newer generation joining us right now. So the right balance between tradition and evolution, that is innovation, is required to make sure that we not just survive but also sustain and do better and groom ourselves. What it has taught us is that the fact that you cannot choose one from the either. What we should do is try and make sure how we can work with both of them, equally walking hand in hand. That's how we're going to make sure that we will succeed.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an honest reflection. Well, since now we are speaking about growth and future, it's impossible not to talk about our very own city, Mangalore. We have Mr. Gurudat Shenoy, the visionary behind MGM Realty, shaping Mangalore's urban landscape with purpose and innovation.
Good evening, Gurudat sir. My question is for you. Urban India is on the brink of reinvention. In the next decade, sustainability, mobility, and community spaces will reshape how people live and work. If you could design the blueprint of Mangalore 2035, how would you do it and what would your vision be? And how is MGM Realty contributing towards this vision?
Yeah, good evening everybody. If you're asking 2035 Mangalore, how I see, definitely I would like to see as a model district or a model city for whole of India or the world, how a coastal city has to be developed in a sustainable interest. When we say sustainable, it is not just environmental concerns, it is about lives also. So we are into business of real estate. It is not just a four walls we are trying to build. We are serving lives over there. When we develop a project, definitely an aspect of sustainable carbon emission or friendly towards connectivity, all those things are aspect. But more than that, how we are making it that encouraging environment to strive great global businesses, or when you talk about homes, that your quality of living impacts you in every sense, be it your health or everything. So real estate makes a huge difference in quality of life and sustainable lifestyle when we talk about. And Mangalore is a one thing we have seen since the last 2-3 decades also. We have been able to keep our culture intact and tradition, and now the new vibe of tech is coming together. We believe that even in 2035, we want to keep it intact. Even if we are growing to the global standards, we don't want to change in those aspects for sure. And we are delivering our business buildings with a more sustainable, carbon neutral, and friendly towards environment. That will be focus. Definitely, I see Mangalore in a global map as an example city for the world.
That's an inspiring vision. It's exciting to imagine Mangalore as an emerging city of balanced progress, sustainability, and tradition, as you said. Now, speaking about the future completely relies on the youth. And my co-host Dhriti here has a very interesting question for Atmika ma'am, which regards to entrepreneurship and our youngsters.
Yes, absolutely. Ma'am, our question is, as an entrepreneur yourself, why do you think local youngsters are becoming job seekers instead of job givers? And what can be done to retain the best talents within our district and not lose them to big cities like Mumbai or Mangalore?
So this question is actually extremely close to me. We as several trade bodies are working towards it as well. If I have to tell you about why we see a lot of youngsters being job seekers rather than job givers, I would say most of our childhood days we have always heard about our parents talking about, become a doctor, become an engineer, make sure that you settle down with a good job. We've kept hearing that, so it's inbuilt in us that, this is what we need to do. It is security over compassion or, passion towards doing something. Also, there are some few rebels like us who have gotten into entrepreneurship as well. What we could do is, or what we should do is have an ecosystem that is required at the educational system as well, where we could try and bridge that gap between industry and academia. To be honest, here in Mangaluru, we are already doing that. We have multiple incubation centers. We have a lot of trade bodies that have MOUs with all the colleges, be it management colleges, medical and engineering colleges, where industries provide internship opportunities. They provide you an experience of working in the environment to actually identify what kind of development is happening here in Mangaluru itself. And with that innovation and with that change of prospect that happens in the mindset of the students, I think we can definitely see a lot of students or resources staying back in Mangalore. It's already growing at the moment, and we already see a lot of people moving back to Mangalore. Right, there's Back to Uru initiative, and a lot of people who have moved out of Mangalore have come back right now and set up businesses here. And I think we're already seeing that gap being served, but we definitely have to do more to give in and improve our employment opportunities here in Mangalore as well. But we see that change already, and that's where we are headed towards. And if each of us start giving internship opportunities and providing better facilities and mentorship programs, identifying how funding opportunities can be provided, because we have MSME department, we have the DIC, we have TAI, which is having a chapter here in Mangalore for startups. There are a lot of mentorship programs as well. So that ecosystem itself will create awareness among the students of the opportunities here. And within the comfort of their own hometown, they can build something. And quite honestly, if I have to tell you, I was talking to Rohit Bhatt a couple of days back, and when he decided to move from Bombay to Mangalore to set up his company, RoboSoft, when I asked him what made you decide that, so he's like, it really doesn't matter where you are. You can build something right here. All it takes is, perseverance and the right attitude. Make sure that you get all your skill sets here. So if we can have a company like RoboSoft from here in Mangalore, why not we already have so many other companies. So I don't think place really matters. It's about your intent and your attitude and courage to do it. So that's where I'm at.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for such an insightful input. Now, as we circle back to the healthcare space, Rohan here will take us through the next question for Mr. Ajmal.
Speaking about opportunities, I think a main question here as student moderators would be, you see fresh graduates from nursing schools, medical colleges, and even management programs. If you could redesign one aspect of these programs, or how India trains healthcare professionals, maybe clinical skills, ethics, technology, business acumen, empathy, what would it be? What is the biggest mismatch between what institutions produce today and what companies require?
If you ask me, since 30 years that I've been in the hospital, Mangalore had one medical college and one college for post-graduation. Now we have 10, and we still find shortage of doctors to be hired and joining us. And the quality of doctors also, I think back then with one, I shouldn't be saying this, but then the kind of MBBS graduates that come out now, I wouldn't be able to consider them back then there. I think the thing is more instant. People want to finish their undergrad, postgrad, and start their practice. And I think there should be a gap that they have after the undergraduation program and then do their PGO. So I feel that's one thing. And the second question was what role?
Yeah,
I
biggest
think
mismatch.
empathy. Empathy is something that's lacking in the present generation that I see. And then maybe perseverance. And then I think the rest can follow. Technology anyway keeps changing and we have to adapt with that. I think these three is what I would suggest that can be looked into.
Yeah, absolutely insightful. As Sir spoke, maybe perhaps we need to focus on empathy and other aspects of healthcare especially. Yeah. And as we near the end of this dialogue, we have one final question that ties together for all the panelists here, that ties together leadership, purpose, and legacy.
Okay, Guru sir, this question is for you. If we had a 21-year-old young man or young woman walking up here and asking you, "Sir, I want to build something that will last forever," and you have to give him some sort of mentorship on leadership or success, which no other podcast or business school will ever provide, how would you go forward giving him advice? And it's something a trailblazer will have to learn the hard way.
First of all, we are learning. If you are asking if I have to guide 21-year-old, first thing everybody should learn that your learning never ends. Even we are today learning more than what to do, we should learn what not to do. That we are getting from the experience of last 15 years. With that experience, I can guide somebody that if you are thinking about entrepreneurship or to be a leader, it is not that fancy at all. This kind of event we won't get every day, but every day is a challenge for sure. But exciting part is that you are solving real world challenges, real world problem. When you see that people are benefited out of it, it gives a lot of encouragement. But only thing is, as an entrepreneur, your journey is lonely. You cannot share most of your things, what you are going through with the. You come to entrepreneurship with that mindset that everything is not a win. Even in your failure, you get to learn. Win is definitely a good thing for everybody. But as an entrepreneur, to be a leader, you need to understand one thing that when you start a project or a product very passionately, it is just a 1% of it. That then remaining 99% you need to continuously deliver that, improve that day on day basis. And it is not that easy. You need to persistently keep that passion in your mind and struggle. And you need to improve day on day basis personally and in all aspects as well. If I have to talk to a 21-year-old now, I would definitely say that look as a long term, otherwise it is not that interesting or encouraging. But once you are in here, that journey is a roller coaster ride, like you never want to get down from there for sure. Then leadership and entrepreneur spirit is much more than a sportsman spirit, I believe. We have been in this journey since 15 years. I don't think this will bore. But actually speaking, entrepreneurship journey is like a never-ending journey, and we take this for next generation as well.
Absolutely. Atmika ma'am, if you could give your inputs to the same question, the one thing that we, before stepping into, should know from your side.
So there's multiple things that you need to know, but if it is one thing, I think consistency and never giving up. You might face failures, but that shouldn't stop you. So keep trying, and also swallow your pride and be ready to, give it your all. And in any business, I believe that you need to be a very good salesperson, so communication is extremely important. So I think these are a couple of things that I would really think is essential for anybody to take things forward. And inclusivity, also I would say. Be a team player than an individual.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Mr. Ajmal sir, what would you like to add to that? You helped gain Unity Care as an established brand of healthcare in Mangaluru. How would you say, in your years of experience managing Unity Care, what would you give your input on that?
I mean, in the hospital scenario?
Yeah.
I'd add to the same thing. So I would say the present generation that come out, they need to have patience to get to that space where the rest of them are. Now I think with the age of Insta, everything needs to be done instantly. And adaptability to learn, change as and when required. And also in my healthcare situation, I would say interdependent than independent. So what happens in Mangalore is most of the hospitals and the doctors, they work independently, though they come together at the hospital and then they go back after that. So I think we work together would change a lot of quality healthcare delivery here. That's why we don't have many of the corporate hospitals that come up here. We are still family-owned hospitals that run by doctors and the same thing existing. So getting manpower for that reason is very difficult.
I just have a follow-up question. What would you say to medical professionals if they wanted to start up, their own clinics or their own hospitals? You've had plenty of experience in this space. How would you possibly, give them guidance? If there were some things that you would want to know beforehand, in your experience, in your tenure, if there were any pivotal decisions that you had to take in your experience, what would they be?
I think we have this thing in Mangalore, is we very easily copy another business that we start, and that's why you see the same repetitive business, be it education, healthcare, or any other industry. I think we need to start thinking differently and be more unique to that business rather than duplicate the same thing over and over again. In my industry, I would say get core specialty, that's single and dual specialty kind of hospitals, which are much needed, and then the care also differs in the same way. And be ready for a change every now and then rather than the same procedure all the time.
Thank you so much, sir. This insight that we've got and is very thought-provoking to us. I'm sure the medical professionals of the healthcare ecosystem would greatly beneficial from your advice. I thank our panelists for sharing such valuable insights during this discussion. Tonight, we've seen that leadership is not confined by age or title. It's defined by purpose, resilience, and the courage to continuously evolve. The lessons shared here highlight the importance of empathy, innovation, and grounded vision in shaping the future of our industries and community. On behalf of Nitte University, we sincerely thank our panelists, Ms. Ajmal, Ms. Atmika, and Mr. Gurudat, and all of you in the audience to being part of this dialogue.
All right. An interesting format. A lot of takeaways emerge there that you don't initially see at the surface. But thank you to all of our panelists and our student participants for that refreshing and inspiring dialogue. A photo op to capture the moment, please. It's always wonderful to see how young minds and seasoned professionals can essentially come together and envision a future that's driven by collaboration, learning, and shared purpose. I'd like for you all to please remain on stage. We'd like to present you a token of our appreciation. If I could have our industry luminaries please present our students with a small memento, our way of saying thank you. We're going to present our students with certificates. These will again come from our industry luminaries that are present with us. Thank you so much. If we could kindly please, yes, sir, if we can have each of our panelists present to one student at a time from Nitte University. Thank you so much. A meeting of the minds of age-old tradition with new age blood. All right. Thank you so much. And at this point, if I could please have National Editor with the Times Network, Anuya Yadav, kindly please come on stage to our panelists. We ask that you please remain on stage for a moment longer. We'd like to now commemorate your presence and present to you with a token of our appreciation as well. Thank you so much. That was a vibrant exchange of ideas, and it truly speaks to how collaborations between generations can essentially drive meaningful progress and innovation for the future. Thank you so much. We're truly honored and deeply humbled by your decision to be here and to grace the occasion here at the ETNow.in Business Conclave and Awards 2025, Bengaluru edition. And a group photo op with all of our industry luminaries, please. With Anuya, if the four of you could please give us a quick photo op to capture the moment. Thank you so much.